This is Basketball More Than a Game with your hosts, Coach Goins and Coach Quick. Former high school coach and player have teamed up again to share their knowledge of the game and life skills on and off the court. Now here are Coaches G and
All right, this is Coach
Q.
Goins and Coach Quick, and we're back in for another fantastic episode of Basketball More Than the Game, the hottest podcast this side of a basketball court. And like we always say, make sure you got your sneakers on, you got them laced up tight, and you may want to put your sweatsuit on because it is a little chilly. But before then, we want to make sure that we kick it over to the hottest co-host to my left. Coach Quick, what's popping?
Hey, what's going on, Coach G? You want to know what's popping with Coach Q? Well, Coach Q is so excited about our special guest via telephone today that I feel like I'm on the campus of the Penn Recovery Center waiting on a natural healing to take place. So after this short break, Coach G is going to come right back and introduce you to our very special guest. So stay tuned and make sure those sneakers are laced up tight.
All right, folks, so we're back in, and as Coach Quick set the table, it is my honor and privilege to introduce a classmate, a lady that I've known basically all my life. So who we have on our show today is the Director of Residential Support Service from the Penn Recovery Center, the one and only Miss Jackie Thompson. Jackie, welcome to Basketball More Than the Game.
Thank you, Lamont. Thank you.
Not a problem. So listen, folks, as we set the table up, and Coach Quick is, folks, he's worked, as he always is. He's in the lab working out these pinpoint questions. We just want to give a shout out to Jackie even before the show starts, because her body of work, what she is doing in Maryland, is absolutely 100% outstanding. Okay, because it takes a special person to do what she does. And we honor her, and this is going to be her platform. So we ask you just to sit back and enjoy the show. Coach Quick, you got the floor.
All right, Miss Thompson. First question I wanted to ask you today is, how did you begin your career in the field of substance abuse as a counselor?
Oh, well, Coach Quick, it's funny. It just sort of like dropped in my lap. I moved from Southern Pines, and I actually went to Lincoln, PA first, but I had some opportunities here in Baltimore. So it's funny. I always told my children, whatever you do, never quit. So I left Lincoln, came to Baltimore to Penn Recovery Center. I actually was a client there. So it's funny because I got into the program. You're supposed to have, substance abuse. You're supposed to, use some substance. So I went there, and the guy was like, what's the drug of your choice? And I'm like, sir, I'm not on drugs. So he was like, again, what's the drug of your choice? And I'm like, sir, I am not on drugs. He was like, okay, I know someone that know you, and they say you're a very smart lady. This is a substance abuse treatment center. So again, what's the drug of your choice? And I was like, oh, I drink. So that gave me way into the program until I found housing for myself. So once I got into the program and just started learning about the disease of addiction and having family members that had the disease of addiction, I just started taking on every opportunity that the program offered. I started volunteering for the program. I probably volunteered for like almost a year, but I actually had gotten a job in between that, but I kept volunteering for the program. And it just touched my heart to see so many people struggling with this disease of addiction. So I just said in my heart, I'm going to work here. I'm going to work for this organization. I told the owner, I was like, sir, I'm going to work here. And he just smiled, and I said, okay, watch and see. I will work here. So it was what I witnessed and the struggle, and it kind of helped me better understand the struggle that my family members were going to, and I just was determined to be part of the organization.
Wow, Ms. Thompson, I can feel your passion just through your words right now, and you had a passion to just work there and be able to help other individuals who had to struggle, and that means everything. And I really feel like this show today is going to reach out and touch a lot of people. So thank you again for coming on Basketball More Than a Game.
Thank
Coach
you.
Horns, I'm gonna kick it over to you.
Well, you know what, folks. First of all, thanks, Coach Quick. Jackie, I certainly appreciate your transparency. We appreciate the body of work. We appreciate you willing to open up, let us in. And folks, here's our challenge. We'll be having Miss Thompson give you that information uh, for the Penn Center, Penn North, as well as if you're hurting, we need for you to reach out to us at Basketball More Than the Game, and we'll do all we can do. If you're in the Baltimore area, please make sure that you contact our great friend Miss Jackie Thompson. So here's one thing that doing my research and why I came across is that Penn North services over 12,000 people a year.
Yes.
More than 600 people take part in the program each and every day. It's Baltimore's longest standing recovery community center. It's a fixture in the community, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
safe haven for everyone seeking friendship, support, and healthy treatment from the life on the streets. So, Jackie, knowing you as long as I've known you, and I'm getting ready to be 55 in a couple of weeks, and I've known you almost all of my life, and I know your personality. You're there every day, and I know people come through that door looking for that smile, looking for your energy. So, what is that? What is that like? And just if you don't mind, and of course, we're not asking for names, but I know there's people that look to see your face every day. Can you talk about that?
Yes, Lamont, I can. I'm gonna just be transparent.
Please.
It's every day. Like when I pull up to the job, I can't get out the car. It's a client at the window. It's a coworker at my car door. Somebody's always at the car door. So sometimes I have to ask, can I just get into the office, put my things down, and we're going to solve whatever issue you're having. So it's because it's a passion for me, Lamont, that I assume that's what draw the people to me because I'm going to do everything I can to help them. No matter what their situation is, if I can fix it, I'm going to do my best to fix it. If I can lead them to the water they drink, I'm going to lead them to the water. So, yeah, it's a struggle sometimes because we all know we have good days and bad days, but I try not to take it out on my clients or my coworkers because I just love the work that I do. I just have a real passion for what I do.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, who we have on is Miss Jackie Thompson. She's Director of Residential Support Service at Penn North Recovery Center in Baltimore, Maryland. So, we'll step away and we'll be back after this quick break.
You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, we're back in, and of course, this is Coach Goins along with Coach Quick, and our very special guest via telephone is Miss Jackie Thompson, Director of Residential Support Service in Penn North Recovery Center. Coach Quick, I know it's almost basketball season. We're talking real life stuff today, and I see you ready for that three-pointer, so I'm going to kick it to you.
Yes, sir. Ms. Thompson, my next question for you is, what are the three elements of a substance abuse program?
Well, in our program, we have, when an individual first comes into the program, we have what we call partial hospitalization program.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you don't need detox. Like, a person could come in, they could be sick, but we can help them, get MAT, which is medicated assisted treatment. So they can either get on Suboxone or methadone. They do that program for 28 days. Once they do that level, they go to IOP, which is still part of our program, but they just won't be in the 28-day program. and they could be in the IOP program anywhere from 3 to 4 months. Once they complete IOP, they go to another level that's OP. Then we move them out to our houses. We have houses as well, and they get moved to the house. They get a little more freedom in the houses on that level. And we also have a 3.1 level, which is basically you have about 3 to 6 months left in the program. So our program could be anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So is that within those different levels that they move to? Is that something like behavioral therapy, multidimensional family therapy, and motivational interviewing?
Yes. So most of our individuals, we have a partnership with a mental health organization. So when they come in the program, most people have dual diagnoses. So they have the substance abuse and mental health. So we'll connect them with mental health, and we have counselors on site. So each client will have a counselor, and if the behavior, we not like mental health at our program. So if it's a behavior that's beyond our scope of service, we will refer the individual out.
Mm.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All right, that's great stuff right there, Miss Thompson. Coach Goins, I see you setting your feet up out behind the 3-point line, so I'm gonna kick this pass over to you.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach Quick, because I was ready for that jumper right here. So listen, people don't realize that Jackie Thompson, right? Here's the thing: they have housing, affordable housing, for 200 men and women in recovery. 200. That's no small potato. So balancing all that, I mean, I get your phone just constantly rings, does it not?
Yes, yes. And the good thing about our program, Lamont, is if they have Medicaid, they don't even have to pay. You just come in the program. They don't have to. That's something. Another weight that they don't have to worry about right now. Like I have to pay rent or I have to pay anything. When they come into our PHP program, they get 3 meals a day plus snacks in between. They don't. That's a problem that we try to help them with as they go through the program. We try to help them with life skills as well as trying to defeat the disease of addiction.
Wow.
So it's a big component,
Sure it is.
helping the individuals. Individuals don't have birth certificates. We think it's normal in North Carolina that everybody have birth certificates and IDs, but we have individuals that come in and have none of that, and we have to help them with everything, start from scratch. So.
And that's just and the ages that you deal with. What's the youngest? What's the youngest and what's the oldest that you've worked with?
18 probably is the youngest. The oldest I've worked with, 82.
Wow.
Wow.
82 years old.
Yes.
Wow. Also, folks, people don't realize that. Here's the thing. As and I'm gonna have to give a shout out. We always got to pay homage where homage is due, right? So in that process, a good friend of mine, Jackie, you may know this guy. His name Bobby Collins.
Yes.
And so he says, what you got? He said, there's 2 Jackies that you got to reach out to. I says, 2 Jackies. He said, yeah. And I said, okay, who do I need to talk to, man? Who do we need to have on the show? So he told me the first Jackie. Then he said the second Jackie. And the second Jackie, meaning not 1 and 2, meaning that our second guest is on today, Miss Jackie Thompson, originally from Southern Pines, North Carolina. But here's the thing that really blew me away with Penn North. It's in the community where there's 40,000 residents that live there. And the average household income is $20,000. 35% have incomes below the poverty level. The violent crime rate is 10 times higher than the national average, 8 times higher than the state average, and 3 times as higher than the Baltimore City. So in that, there's a tremendous amount of stress, trauma, stemming from addiction, poverty, homelessness, violence, incarceration, and racism. And so a lot of times people think they want to judge a book by its cover, and don't think that people can reform, can change. But when you've got all of this knocking on your door as a youth growing up, you can see it's and we're and the three of us are fortunate and grateful and blessed by the man upstairs to realize that we never really had to deal with a lot of this growing up. But growing up in that environment, and as Miss Thompson just said, the youngest that she dealt with is 18 years old. But when you're in conditions like this, where it's homelessness, it's poverty, you grew up in the house where there's people are addicted to substance abuse, and the body of work that Penn North has been doing is absolutely outstanding. They have been in existence since 1993, and they are actually the first recovery clinic to have acupuncture. And somebody says, "How you know that?" It's called research, folks. It's called YouTube. Coach Quick, I went on YouTube and I watched it, man. And people, when they go in there, part of the recovery is they offer acupuncture, and it's also a 24-hour a day on demand recovery support. And again, it is absolutely mind blowing. And what does my heart great is listening to you tell this story, right? Of what you do each and every day and how you do it and what your passion is behind that. So with that, Coach Quick, I see you got your man pinned on the inside. Let me toss it to you.
Yes, sir. Miss Thompson, what is your favorite aspect of working as a substance abuse counselor? And do you prefer working independently or collaborating with a team?
Okay, so I'm not a counselor. I'm the director of residential support services. So I enjoy working with the team. I actually just got the promotion to director, but I was the manager over 20 staff, and then anywhere from 60 residents in PHP. So now I had the med techs, the care coordinators, and the rest of the staff. I manage them. So now I have team leads and managers that now I just have to make sure that everything is running smooth. And I love the team I work with. We have a great team at Penn North. We are more like family. We fuss and fight like family, but we family. We love each other, and it's a great job to me. I really enjoy the job because we really are like family, and we really care about the clients. We cheer for the clients. We root for the clients. Of course, you might have some that slip up and have to come back, but that's the cycle, like Lamont said, in the area that we're located. If you can make it through there, you can make it, because we're kind of like in the heart of everything. So, yeah. So I love my team, Coach.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds like great stuff to me. So, Coach Goins, I'm going to kick it back over to you.
Well, I appreciate it there, Coach G. So, listen, we've got on none other than Miss Jackie Thompson, originally from Southern Pines, North Carolina. She's a 1984 graduate of that great high school, Pinecrest High School in Southern Pines, North Carolina. She is also, matter of fact, let's go over and give another. She is just recently promoted to Director of Residential Support Service for the Penn North Recovery Center. We're going to step away, and we'll be back after this short break.
Looking for a smarter way to shop for your insurance for you and your families? Look no further. There is help. With several different companies and plans to choose from, whether it's life insurance or Medicare supplemental plans, finding the right plan has never been easier. Licensed with multiple companies and able to shop various rates, plans to help find the best plan for you and your budget. Independent insurance broker Curtis Jackson is the one to call for help. Call Curtis now at 919-614-5796 for a no-cost consultation. You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, we're back on, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Goins and Coach Quick, and our very special guest via telephone, Miss Jackie Thompson. Don't let her fool you. She is from the Pinecrest High School, and she did graduate class of 1985. Almost said 95. 1984. 84. And actually, let me tell you this. I got a picture on Facebook, right? And what I may do, I may take that picture and I may post that because it's actually, I think it was at our 10-year reunion. You and I took a picture together. And I was like, I said, I couldn't get in that suit if I wanted to. So I saw that I had to. I laughed about it. I said, look at Jackie, man. I said, but here's the thing, folks. A lot of times, you go through life, you meet people on your journey, and you don't realize the impact that people have on you and other individuals. And as Miss Thompson is telling her story and sharing her heart, my mind looks back on this, and I'm like, man, if they're, now, hindsight is always 20/20, Coach Quick, and looking back on this now, if anybody was tailor-made that could be reaching out and sharing and caring, we've got her on this episode this week. So again, folks, we ask you just to sit back, buckle up as we continue to move forward. So here's my question to you, Jackie. So each and every day, you get up, get ready, you roll in there, people are hitting you up right at the car. How do you step away and keep yourself dialed in, because we know there's dealing with what you deal with, there's ups and downs. Some people make it, some people don't. I'm sure sometimes you all may experience death of some of the clients. So how do y'all kind of step back and go back in? Just if you don't mind, take us there.
Lamont, I think that's something that I need to work on. Because the passion is so deep. Sometimes I feel like if I'm not there, something's going wrong. I stay late to make sure everything is okay. But fortunately, our job, it's easy to call and say, I'm taking a mental health day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get penalized for it. It's, look, I need a mental health day. Or my boss might say, stay home tomorrow. You need a mental health day. But the passion, it's just so driven that I don't pay attention. Sometimes another staff member have to make me aware. I have a staff member that might say, go in your office, and he'll close my door and tell the front desk people, don't let nobody go to Jackie's office. So that gives me time to reel myself back in. Might play a gospel song, may play something else, but that gives me a chance to reel myself back in.
Excellent. So just basically kind of stepping away. So what we'll do is make sure that we keep you encouraged and lifted up, and be able to kind of step away, because again, I know you driving hard. I know they rely on you, but we want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So thank whoever that staff member is to say you go in your office. We want to give him a shout out and appreciate him taking care of my homegirl, who I'm serious. I mean, because we've all been there, and there's times that we do have to step away. There's times that we might have to, go what I call leave campus, if you will, to grab a bite to eat. So, Coach Quick,
and actually, Lamont, he used to be a client.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
He used to be a client, and he would stop me in my tracks. Like, you need to go sit down somewhere. So I thank God for him.
Excellent. Coach Quick, I see you, brother.
Yes, sir. Ms. Thompson, I completely agree with you, as I work in day-to-day field with the mental health side of it as well. So I definitely understand what you mean as far as some days we may need a mental health day. That's why we have to stay prayed up and encouraged ourselves so that we may be able to, so that God can use us as instruments to be able to reach these individuals who have these diagnoses, who are battling substance abuses. So I just commend everything that you're doing. So just keep your head above water and keep grinding.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my next question for you is a kind of a two-part question. What is the most rewarding aspect of your job, and how can the community, church, and or family assist with the reentry of family members once they have completed their treatment?
So the most rewarding,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to give you an example of an individual. We had an individual in our program, probably early 30s,
Yes, ma'am.
tattoo on his face. Um, and he was kind of rough, always challenging the staff. And several times he almost got kicked out. But he go me, I put my cape on. It's, like, no, we can't kick him out. We can't kick him out. So I just kept working with this individual. And we partnered with this organization called Sharp Dress Man. What they do is we send them in to their business. They put them in suits, give them shoes, tie, everything. One day we sent this young man to Sharp Dress Man. He came back in that suit, and it seemed like that suit changed his life. He started dressing different. I have another coworker. She does our job placement. Enrolled him into job placement at University of Maryland, and he actually got the job. He was a community healthcare worker, had his own office. All the hospital told him to do was put a little concealer on his tattoo that was on his forehead when he come to work. And he came back, and he right to this day, he called me Mama Jackie. He said, I never seen myself in a career. I've always just seen myself working a job like McDonald's. He was like, hey, Mama Jackie, you helped change my life. That is like the most rewarding when I have individuals that come back like that. We have individuals that some don't have family to re-enter them with. Some do, but sometimes they don't want to go back to family because family is still in active addiction. Mm. So it's kind of like a catch-22, coach, because you'll have the few that come through there that really does have good parents that's trying to be there for them, but then you have so many that they can't go home because they're trying to stay clean.
Wow.
And the family members are using, so it's kind of like a catch-22 for some of the ones that's struggling in recovery.
Mm. Yes, ma'am.
Churches, we have churches we have churches on each corner around us, so we do have support from the churches. We do food drives and all that, so we do have support. But like you said, the hardest part is having the one that's really trying to fight to stay clean, but can't go home because everybody else is in active addiction.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Coach Goins, I'm gonna kick it back over to you.
All right, Coach Quick, man, that was what a great question, what a great answer, and we have on today Mama Jackie, Mama Jackie. And what that was powerful. You know what? You know what that took me, Coach Quick, when she was telling that story. You know what? Man, if I had two mics, I would want you and Bobby Collins to sit on the opposite side of Coach Quick and myself, because as you were telling that story, and I'm like, man, can you imagine if I had her and Bobby across from each other going, yeah, what made you pick that what made you pick that story? I don't know, but thank you for blessing us. People don't realize that, as I sit here and not try to get emotional on this stuff, is one, we're fortunate to have what we have, and as you shared that, people don't realize that sometimes somebody just putting a suit on can make a difference. Some people may have never owned a suit, Some people only see a suit hanging in the window. But when he put that suit on and then he goes and then he gets that job and then he comes back, then he shares that feedback with you. Wow. What again? That is a huge testimony, and we
Hey,
appreciate.
Lamar,
Yep. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. But the other thing about that young man, we just went to Point Covington. They had a ribbon cutting about 3 weeks ago. So now Sharp Dressed Man is in Port Covington space. So we touring the place, and who picture did we see? A big old picture of this same guy. So we telling the owner of Sharp Dressed Man, we know this guy, blah, blah. And the man told me similar to what happened at Penn. He was like, yeah, when he came through the door, I just was determined I wasn't going to work with him. So I gave everybody numbers to pick, and whoever got numbers had to go to each one of the different staff.
Mm-hmm.
He said, lo and behold, I'm in the dressing room. Who come through the door? The same guy I was trying not to work with. And then he said it had to be God. He said because when the guy changed into that suit, it felt like they got a connection. So he was one of the people too that wasn't even willing to work with him. So it was, yeah.
Wow.
But now he's kind of like the face. He was on the cover of their book. Now he's the face in the store. So I'm like, wow. Yeah.
That's excellent. So look, as we get ready to start wrapping up, so our very special guest today via telephone from Baltimore, Maryland. She is the director of housing for the Penn North Recovery Center. Is Mama Jackie Thompson, originally from Southern Pines, North Carolina, and we'll be back after this short break.
Visit our website, coachgoins.podbean.com. Always learn to pass. Process, attitude, sacrifice, satisfaction.
All right, folks, we're back in, and yes, this is Coach Goins and Coach Quick, and we have had our seatbelts on. It has been one heck of a show. We knew it even before we came on the air that it was going to be great, and we have on our very special guest, Miss Jackie Thompson. She is the director of housing for the Penn North Recovery Center, which is in Baltimore, Maryland. Great body of work. And before I kick it over to Jackie for her closing comments, number one, we want to thank the owners of Penn North. We want to thank the vision that was placed on this house back in 1993. We want to thank everyone that steps through those doors to service the citizens of this community. But most importantly, we want to recognize my classmate, my friend for life, Miss Jackie Thompson, for your body of work as we go on. And you know what? It won't be Jackie Thompson anymore. It'll be Mama Jackie from here on out. Because once I heard that right there, I knew it was genuine. The story that you shared, the things that you've shared with our time today, we know this is going to be impactful for people's lives. So we challenge you from Basketball More Than the Game. If you're in a situation and you need to reach out, we're here. You've got our information. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. And then guess what? If you need that assistance and you're in that Baltimore area, Maryland, please reach out to our great friend, Jackie Thompson. So, Jackie, I'm going to kick it over to you for your closing comments.
I just want to thank you, Lamont, for having me on this podcast. I just want the people that are listening to know that the disease of addiction is real. If you have family or loved ones, don't ignore it to try to get them help. Mental health is real. Pay attention to your loved ones. And if you can, get them help. Get them to a treatment center. Don't ignore it, because the fentanyl, the Percocets, the heroin, it is literally killing people every day. So if you have a loved one that's in need of treatment, you may not want to go to treatment where you are. Come to Penn North Recovery Center. If our center is not the place for you, we can help you to find treatment. Thank you.
Amen. Coach Quick.
Mama Jackie, I just want to say thank you. And it's our pleasure that you were on Basketball More in the Game today. What you do each and every day is so commendable. And I just pray that God will continue to use you as his instrument, that you may get the glory to help somebody during their story. And I'd just like to say, as I sat back here during this interview today to try to fight back the tears, I've watched so many individuals struggle with substance abuse and mental illness. Yes. I just want if you know somebody, to our listening audience, if you know somebody that's struggling, reach out to them. Because as our former guest, Jackie Covington would say, allow your hearts and minds to search your souls for a vision to be a better you. Because it's definitely not in the fall, but it's in how you get up. Yes. So to anyone that's struggling with mental illness, have substance abuse problems, continue to look up to God, because he'll get you through this. And I challenge anyone who knows someone, reach out, reach out, reach out. Thank you, Mama Jackie, for being on our show today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Do you have anything?
Coach Quick, get us to the locker room.
For Coach Goins, our special guest, Jackie Thompson, also known as Mama Jackie, the Director of Residential Support Services of the Penn North Recovery Center, and for myself, Coach Quick, we'll see you in the gym.
You've been listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick. Our podcast is available on podbean.com.